All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, our illustrious sports director. Illustrious. You like that?
Yeah,
word?
I like that. Wow. Not deserved, but it's nice.
I've been making sure my caps were good today so I could get that word out. But anyway, I want to talk to him about a number of things. Eric Hagman right now working the sports desk. Jess is always working. Alexander Ovechkin still trying to get to the third round of the postseason, a lone goal, but finally the Pens woke up in the third.
Yeah, it was, it's 2-0. There were two early goals, one in the first, one in the third. It seemed like Washington had it where they wanted. Holtby was playing out of his mind, and all of a sudden, Hornquist tips a shot, and you could feel it a little bit. Next shift with the first line. Pass over from Gensel to Crosby, buries it. Through Ovechkin. Ovechkin slams the stick against the glass. Next time that same line is out there, boom, third goal. Pens win at 3-2. It was so comparable to me to what it's like in Heinz Field when New England's there. There's that cautious optimism, there's hatred, and you're rooting and you think this is going to be the time, and then boom. For them, it's Sidney Crosby. For us, it's Tom Brady. But the parallels to me are striking.
Isn't it hard to believe now in his third decade that he's becoming a better overall player than even last year, Sidney Crosby? He's incredible.
I mean, he works. He doesn't have the most skill of anyone who's ever played the game. He is obviously naturally talented, but he has taken what he was given and made it as good as anybody possibly could. The guy just works and works and works, and it rubs off, and here they are.
All right, Martavis Bryant, now a member of the Oakland Raiders, 79th overall pick, third round, coming up. What do you think about that?
I'm kind of split, because my first thought is, wow, you're trying to win now, and Martavis is a guy who can help you. However, I thought last year he wasn't
Attitude.
there.
No.
I don't even know. I mean, maybe a little attitude, but it's like his focus wasn't there. And let's face it. The year before, they didn't have Martavis Bryant and made it farther in the playoffs than they did with him. So that they could get a third rounder and maybe replace him with a young guy like Martavis, who's going to be a little bit more focused and can stretch the field, I think it's a good move.
Ryan Shazier comes out to announce that they would take as their first round selection at number 28, Terrell Edmonds, safety, Virginia Tech, 6 foot, 270 pounds. Awesome to see that.
I was at the Pens game, so I didn't see it live. I saw it back on tape, and I didn't know what had happened. And they said, all right, we have a special thing for the Steelers pick. And they pan over to the empty door, and I see Shazier start walking, and it got dusty in that room.
Tough.
That was cool. I mean, that was awesome. As far as the pick, he was, by many draft experts, a third-round pick. So by that logic, they made a horrible stretch. But when you look at the guy and his body of work and that he can play almost like a linebacker, like a safety, he's got a speed of a corner, he can cover those tight ends. And in the way the NFL is now, with as pass-happy as that league is, and what is one area that the Steelers have always struggled, covering a tight end. Maybe this is the guy that's going to do it. The thing is, they'll have to kind of explore where they want to use him.
All right, Pirates get by Detroit yesterday. St. Louis in town tonight, 93-7 the Fan. Then we'll let you go.
Hey, how about Corey Dickerson? Everything that happened yesterday, Corey Dickerson's walk-off just went away. And obviously the news with Jung Ho Kang.
Yes.
And he goes down to Florida, and he'll try to get it going. And
can't hurt.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I think here's what I think the best case scenario, because they have an option year on Kang. I think Moran is the guy they like, and they've been playing Osuna some at third. You bring him up here, you give him some at bats, you hope he has some traction, and then you trade him. So even if he comes back and he rehabs and he starts off well and you can get something for him, I think that's your course of action. It's a shame, because he really could have been a centerpiece of something they were trying to do, but he screwed himself, bottom line.
Anything else before I let you go?
Man, there's so much going on.
I know you're tired.
Second and third rounds of the draft tonight.
Do you think they might take a quarterback? If this Rudolph guy would still be out there.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Good.
I wouldn't
give
put
me
it past
something to
them,
look
but
forward to.
They need a receiver. They need a running back. They need an inside linebacker. They need some depth on the line. I mean, there's a lot of things that they.
Okay, real quick.
No, let me do it in Steeler terms. There's a lot of things they want, because they don't have needs. They have wants.
See, this is what I do. I bother them when I walk around the office, because he gets me going and then I can't stop. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
What do you think?
it's a risk, and it's more Johnny Manziel than it is Andrew Luck. And what I mean by that is you're rolling the dice. And maybe Mayfield could be that guy, that playmaker, the guy who's doing things a little bit with his legs, that can get out of the pocket a little bit. Not that he's a runner at all. He obviously has a big personality, and he's very competitive, and he's very fiery. And that can be good. Sometimes that can get old, especially in the pro game. You don't see a lot of rah-rah guys in the pros. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is the guys are like, they're older. It's like, settle down there, Sonny. Like, we know what we're doing.
Tell you what really did excite me. Saquon Barkley going to the Giants. I'm a big Giants fan. He's a stud. Recently a new father. Congratulations. But also, Josh Allen going to Buffalo. Remember where you heard it. That could really pay big dividends today. Go ahead.
I think it's smart for Allen on two things. One, he's got a great arm, and I think he has the most raw ability. And I know he played at Wyoming, so that's something.
And he's going to be good in that cold weather up there.
That's the thing. He's played in the cold weather.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're taking a guy from Florida and bringing him up to Buffalo. You're taking a guy from Wyoming and moving him over to Buffalo. The deal with his techs, we'll see how. I mean, when he gets into camp, he's going to have to explain himself to his teammates. But I think bottom line for NFL guys, if you win, they don't care. I mean, look at some of the guys in the Steeler locker room. Martavis, Le'Veon. Man, Antonio's the most selfish guy in the world, but he helps them win, and he works hard, so he has respect of his guys. So,
and why do I think of you every time an Ohio State Buckeye steps up to the podium? Are they going to have a separate draft for this team?
I tell you what, Alabama had a big draft.
Yeah,
this year.
did.
Alabama.
And so did Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame did. Notre Dame.
McGinty
Denzel Ward for the Browns. It's a bit of a surprise. I mean, obviously, I watched a lot of Ohio State games. I think he's a first-round talent, but be the fourth pick. We'll see. He might be a shutdown corner. I think the Browns took two risks in their picks, and they could be home runs, or there's potential that those guys could strike out, and they'll be regretting not taking Chubb or not taking Darnold.
Listen, I know you're busy.
Steelers took a roll of the dice, too. They could do the same thing. They could strike out with this guy.
Sorry to bother you, but I have no life other than you. I'm talking
No,
sports.
please.
I love it. Big question is, who's Gino DeMarco starting quarterback next year for Geneva?
Maybe it can get Ben DiNucci.
Here's Jeff Hathhorn, our sports director. I know you had a long week. Great job as always.
Thanks.
Tune in now, 93.7 The Fan. They're talking about all of this stuff up until Pirate Baseball. Good afternoon.